From ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. 46 days to Election Day, and coronavirus continues to be the dominant issue of the campaign. Democratic nominee Joe Biden discussed the pandemic in a televised town hall.
From Pennsylvania, Joe Biden taking questions from voters in a drive-in style town hall on CNN. The first question for Biden: what plan do you have to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in the workplace? The former vice president said there needs to be direction from the top down.
We should make sure that we have national standards laid out so how people can, in fact, go to work safely.
He also said a unified message from the White House about masks and vaccines is important.
What presidents say matter.
Mark Remillard, ABC News.
President Trump also campaigning in a swing state.
A very big hello, Wisconsin. We've been very good together.
Before that event in Montagny, he dismissed criticism from Olivia Troy. She's a former staffer for Vice President Mike Pence. She worked on the COVID task force and says the president never took the virus seriously.
When we were in a task force meeting, the president said maybe this COVID thing is a good thing. I don't like shaking hands with people. I don't have to shake hands with these disgusting people.
She says she'll vote for Joe Biden. President Trump said,
I never met her. To the best of my knowledge, maybe she was in her room. I have no idea who she is. She doesn't know me. It's just another person that leaves.
Both President Trump and Vice President Biden campaigned today in Minnesota. Amid the controversy over operational changes to the Postal Service that have slowed mail delivery, a federal judge issued an injunction against the new policy requiring mail trucks to leave facilities on time, regardless of whether there's more mail to load. Over 300,000 utility customers in Florida and Alabama don't have power 2 days after Hurricane Sally made landfall in the region. And Yosemite National Park shutting down because of smoke from western wildfires. It's expected to remain that way at least into next week. You're listening to ABC News.
Balance of Nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
I've always taken care of myself. I always cook my own food. I just was losing steam, which is very unusual for me. And I said, you know what? A lot of our foods, they don't have the nutrients they did 100 years ago. So I took a chance with Balance of Nature, and I see a difference. Before I took Balance of Nature, by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I found myself napping. Well, that's not happening anymore. I finally found something that's the real deal. And I'm just very happy with Balance of Nature.
Get a wide variety of all your daily recommended servings of whole fruits and vegetables without having to leave your home. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com today and use discount code FRUITS.
This is Mike 4 years ago. This is Mike having the same conversation with Debbie just last month. And today, he's at it again.
What's that, Mike?
I said our house is still underwater.
How do you know? Have you had it appraised lately?
Well, no.
Has the coronavirus made your life less financially stable? Are you worried about your next mortgage payment? Reed's Family REI is a family-based real estate investing company ready to buy your house for cash in any area or condition and close in 2 weeks. You don't have to fix it up. There's no agent fees, and we handle the closing costs. Selling a home can be very stressful, and Wyatt Reed and his team at Reed's Family REI will put together the best possible offer for your specific needs. Sell your home fast with Reed's Family REI. 931-292-2875. That's 931-292-2875. And online at reedsfamilyrei.org. Reed's Family REI. Creative real estate experts for all your buying or selling needs.
No two of us are exactly alike. That's why you need a financial advisor with the freedom to focus on the details that make your life your own. Your family, the challenges you face, the dreams that inspire you. Whatever your goals, you need an advisor that can create a plan uniquely tailored to you. That's life well planned. To learn more, call Raymond James Financial Advisor Dustin Haraway, 256-705-0300. Located in downtown Huntsville. Raymond James Financial Services, Inc. Member FIRNA SIPC.
For up-to-the-minute news, log on to WVNN.com. Depend on it.
Walker.
Alabama's best no-holds-barred, constitutionally conservative, Christ-centered talk radio. If that don't fire you up, your wood's wet. Now, it's time for your bearded host, Zach Walker.
Saturday night, the moon was right. That's what I'm talking about. That's the elements right there. It'll be Earth, Wind, and Fire bringing us in this morning. How about some silky smooth Earth, Wind, and Fire to bring in my silky smooth voice here on the radio every morning. Good morning, everyone. Zach Walker, your big, beautiful bearded host, here with producer Connor. And let's play the latest edition of Who's on the Board? He didn't hear me? He's not there. Somebody's there. Who's on the...
Oh, no, I'm here.
Oh,
I'm here.
There he is.
I'm here.
Hey, that was what they call a dramatic pause for effect.
That is correct. That is correct. I'm here, and I am psyched about it.
It's a saussure in theater circles. That's what my friends in the biz call it. It's a saussure. Did you know that?
I did not, but I am very impressed that you do.
I appreciate that. I'm like an iceberg. You can only see very little above the surface. I'm very deep, Dale. Very deep. I love dead air. It's my favorite. Well, what's going on, producer Connor? How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Doing good?
Doing good.
That's all you got for me today. I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm afraid. I made it here before you this morning. That was impressive.
That was impressive. You also made fun of me for eating sherbet, a naturally low-calorie snack.
I just asked if you were eating sherbet. I wanted to clarify.
Dale, is there anything wrong with eating a sherbet, a naturally low-calorie snack for breakfast?
Seems kind of sugary, but I'm sitting here drinking a Coke, so what do I know?
It's a naturally low-calorie snack. It says so on the box. By the way, it comes in a box. Sherbet comes in a box.
It's just sherbet right up against cardboard.
In a box.
That's
pretty cool. It's like the old school. It's like the old. You're too young to remember old school, but it's like the old school ice cream containers. That's what, like, if you got some Neapolitan ice cream or some chocolate ice cream or some vanilla ice cream, they came in a box.
Okay.
In the break, you've got to go in there to the kitchen, open the freezer, and just peer into the freezer, see the box. The fact that you've never seen ice cream in a box, again, makes me feel old.
Yeah, every ice cream I've ever seen comes in that, like, thick paper type carton you see at, like, the store.
No, this is a much thinner paper.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. If it melts, it gets ugly.
Yeah, I was about to say, that doesn't sound like it'd be the most...
It's not. No, if it melts, it gets ugly. It gets real ugly. But
how do they make it? Do they?
I don't know. I
pour the cream in the box and
freeze it.
And freeze it. That's
where do they whip it? They have to whip it somewhere first, right? You gotta whip it.
Do they congeal it to match the shape of the cardboard?
I don't know, but that's a really weird word to me.
Congeal?
Yes, it's one of those words like moist.
Oh, well, now I'm going to say it.
I mean, it doesn't bother. I didn't say it bothered me.
Oh, okay.
I just said it was weird. Congeal, like moist.
I kind of like it.
Of course you do. Weirdo. Freaking nerd. No, look, I'm just jealous. Don't take that the wrong way. Last night, played a little softball. Got a little softball in. Had to go on and take the dub. At some point today, I've been asked by all of my friends over at in the softball world to do a little segment on the old softball culture. So we'll dive into the slow pitch culture a little bit today. Q, if you're listening, that's for you, buddy. He's driving a forklift right now, trying to stay awake probably. And so he tunes in because our show keeps him awake, one, and two, he wants to be part of the smartest radio show on radio. So it is we'll dive into that a little bit, and I got to do a little bit of that last night. So there's a lot out there in the old news cycle that sure is wow. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. Apparently owning dogs is racist. I put this out last night. And we will dive into the systemic racism of owning a dog as a white person and how that's really racist. I promise you, I said that I told Connor about that this morning. And Connor, what was your response?
I said, cool, awesome.
That's all I said. Like, cool. I'm like, what, being racist is cool? Like, I don't understand with that response?
It's just cool that it's another standard we have to
adhere
to now. It's like when you're so jaded, it's just like cool, whatever.
I thought you were going to pull another climate change response out of the bag. Then I was like, no, you're commenting on this. We're commenting on this, by golly, because it's become comical at this point. Like that's all you can say about it. It's just become flat out comical. And like you said, the standards that we're expected to adhere to, they certainly wouldn't allow you to eat sherbet for breakfast, a naturally low-calorie snack. I mean, you like how I attach that to it every time? That's a new thing. That just kind of started. I saw it on the box. It says a naturally low-calorie snack, and I'm like, well, that justifies eating this whenever I want to. Because the other snacks that I typically eat are not natural and are not low-calorie. That's natural and low calorie. Think about that. I wonder if I could find some sherbet that's like really is just like some oranges like whipped into some sherbet as opposed to like all processed fake orange stuff. Because I guarantee you what I'm eating in here is probably like the ingredients are probably 4 syllables apiece. And that's never a good thing. You turned on Family Matters this morning. I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah, it's on TBS. Well, they run all the good reruns before 6 a.m.
The fact that you know that.
I really don't. I'm just making a generalization.
I was like, well, that's cool. We've got the Korean baseball rocking, but today, since I was running behind, Connor turned the TVs on and selected the viewing experience that we would have this morning, and Family Matters it is. So maybe we'll see Stefan, maybe we'll see Urkel, but we'll see one of the two. Hopefully it's Stefan. I loved it when Stefan made an appearance. The only thing better than that was when Slater and Zach fought over Kelly. You know what I'm saying? You probably don't know what I'm saying. Dale knows what I'm saying. But yeah,
big Saved by the Bell fan over here.
Are you okay? So then, what did you think about like when they went off to college?
I watched them all. I'd watch it again if they came back in their 40s. I'm all about it.
I probably would too. Kelly Kapowski may have been in love really early in my life, for the first time. That was maybe when I felt love for the first time. It was transformative, Who was that? Connor, who was like the Hills or something? Like who was when you were, because I don't know, I was probably 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, kind of up through there. As Saved by the Bell got big and big and big and big and bigger. What was that show for like your generation that had like, was it Hannah Montana? Like
the show that everybody watched that molded pop culture?
No, that had a smoking hot girl that like every dude in your generation's going to be like, oh yeah, I remember her.
I don't know that came so much from TV. As
Hannah Montana probably, yeah.
Hannah Montana, no, yeah. I don't. We watched Hannah Montana when we were like 8.
Okay, well, but The Hills is probably a little bit before you. I'm trying to think. Oh, what were you going to say? You said you don't think it was TV, but
I think social media is where we saw.
Oh, that's fair. We did not have any influencers. We didn't have any influencers to look at that we would just look at the pictures of them half naked. You're right. That did not exist and I'm thankful for that, quite frankly. We were able to. Never mind. That was something that I think, I don't know. It's everybody, because you look back at like the older generation, and they've got it was like hairband or like Susan Sarandon or like some of these actresses or lead singers of some of these 70s 80s hair bands. So it is quite different, I guess. The pop culture icon. And where they come from. That's weird. That's weird to me. I'm sitting here thinking about that. I'm trying to process it live, like real time here. It's crazy. Like we had TV, they had very various things, and you guys had freaking Instagram.
Yep. It's kind of crazy, especially when you consider that, in these types of worlds, you don't need to climb any sort of corporate ladder necessarily. Anybody can.
The concept of the influencer, the social media influencer making the amount of, I mean, they're making 6 figures per sponsored post on a regular basis, which is incredibly impressive. I mean, I'm not mad. I'm never mad at capitalism, but it is definitely, I don't know. I think it's the Kardashians' fault.
That's what I was about to say. The Kardashians might be the most powerful marketing forces on the planet when you think about the kind of pull they have.
Yeah, they literally got famous for being famous. Like, they got famous for, think about it. Everybody else is, like all these other influencers are famous because they're a football player, they're a baseball player, they're a race car driver, they're whatever. The Kardashians got famous for being famous.
I thought Kim...
There was an explicit tape,
okay,
but they got famous for being, I mean, her mom released the tape, dude. Like, her mom, quote unquote, maybe, like, it was one of those things where it was leaked to it wasn't leaked. Mama put it out because she wanted to get famous for being famous.
It worked.
It worked for Ray J, too. Let's go to a break. When we come back, we will dive into, we'll talk about a little bit of softball. Talk about a little bit of, we got Hurricane Sally doing damage in the Gulf. There's sunk boats. There's wrecked piers. There's all kinds of stuff down there. You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
You go as hard as you can. And then a little harder.
And it was like I stepped funny, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I could barely walk on.
Okay, let's take a look.
At Lang Chiropractic, we'll help your sports performance and your overall health by improving your range of motion, flexibility, relieving inflammation, and so much more. Focusing to improve your health and wellness in all areas of your life. Whether you're having trouble with back pain, neck pain, or just want to start feeling better when you wake up in the morning, Dr. David Lang is focused on a whole person approach, finding those underlying causes and creating a personalized plan for your individual needs. Schedule your visit by calling 256-444-1600. That's 444-1600. At Lang Chiropractic on Highway 72 East in Athens in the Publix Shopping Center. Visit us online at langchiropracticcenter.com. Lang Chiropractic, we've got your back. Come see us today.
Though the world is full of wonders to amaze you as you roam, some of life's greatest treasures are found very close to home.
Find your own treasures at Highway 31 Flea Market. We have it all. Lots of furniture, both painted and project pieces, along with chairs, tables, televisions, books, and so much more. Our prices are unbeatable with products you'll love. Maybe you're looking for a bed frame, or maybe some tools. You'll find a great selection right here at Highway 31 Flea Market. We also have all kinds of collectibles and antiques. Want even more deals? You can jump on board with our week-long online auctions, beginning every Tuesday at 7 p.m. It's simple. You can join the auction at fleamarket.highbid.com. That's fleamarket.hibid.com. And be sure to visit us Monday through Saturday from 9 till 5 at Highway 31 Flea Market on Highway 31 South in Athens. What will you find when you shop Highway 31 Flea Market?
Aardvark Tees is the source for all the t-shirts that you really want. Specializing in witty, original t-shirt designs geared toward gamers, anime fans, Whovians, kaiju groupies, geeks of all types, and anyone with a great sense of humor. Aardvark Tees provide shirts in all sizes from youth to 5XL. Whether you need custom printing for businesses, schools, churches, groups, reunions, and more. Call or message Aardvark Tees for your printing needs today. Call 256-732-4743 or online at aardvarktees.com.
What's better than pizza? That's right, nothing. Well, maybe except for the many ways you can eat it.
I like thinner crust. Oh, and with a side of ranch. Mm-hmm.
I'll take mine with a pretty crazy assortment of toppings. Thousands. With a side of wings. Hot ones.
Pizza. It's a beautiful thing and found all over the world. But for your slice of the pie here locally, you want to try Donato's Pizza in Madison. Enjoy our famous pizzas loaded with edge-to-edge toppings, 100 slices of pepperoni, the family recipe sausage, fresh hand-cut veggies, and premium cheeses like our aged smoked provolone. You'll notice the Donato's difference. But why stop there? We also offer subs, calzones, wings, and desserts. Don't keep eating those same old leftovers. Make tonight a Donato's night with Donato's Pizza on Madison Boulevard in Madison. Call 256-772-6789. That's 772-6789. And online at Donatos.com. Donato's Pizza, where every piece is important.
WVNN.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host this morning. Checking in producer Connor, Dale Jackson on the ones and twos over at Master Control. We're just making our way. Dale, give me a level, excitement level, scale of 1 to 10.
14.
14.
Easily 14.
That's you heard it here first, folks. Dale Jackson is very excited to be with us this morning, and we are. If he's a 14 to be here, we're a 20 to have him. So that's all that matters, there, folks. We are gonna first, before we dive into any of the fun stuff, we're gonna talk about a story that really, I think it deserves more time than it's getting, simply because hashtag Me Too. I'll just put it that way. Shipwrecked Malaysian fisherman claims he was sexually assaulted by a great white shark. You may read that again, Connor. You looking at me a little crazy.
Okay.
World News Daily Report. Shipwrecked Malaysian fisherman claims he was sexually assaulted by a great white shark. Hashtag Me Too. This is a real headline. This is a real story. This is not The Onion. This is not obviously not the Babylon Bee. They would never joke about sexual assault. This is a World News Daily Report.
Yeah, I know that dolphins occasionally.
Oh, geez. I just got hosed.
By
World News Daily Report, where facts don't matter. It's a satire site. Son of a gun.
Oh, good.
Son of a gun. It's got to be. No.
If it says where facts don't matter on it.
I know.
Yeah.
I had 3 more headlines I was going to work on today, too. No wonder they're so funny. Man. You know what? Okay. Let me also say, because now I'm embarrassed. I found this site through Joe Rogan's podcast, and he referenced an article from this site as absolute fact. And he's got hundreds of millions of reasons to do a little fact checking.
Yeah.
I was so fired up. Man, I was so fired up. I had some good headlines off of this freaking page. No wonder. Has that ever happened to you, Dale? Or is that just my level of stupid?
It happens occasionally on the radio, usually to Antonio, not necessarily to me. But yeah, I've seen it.
That's fair. I like Antonio better. So no, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. I don't. That's not accurate, Antonio. I love you, buddy, but no, I have never. Oh man, golly. Sometimes you have to tell yourself, hey man, you're broadcasting, right? Like, that there are actually people on the other side of this microphone listening to you. God bless America. I am so happy I looked up in the right-hand corner, though. You know what's funny? Nobody would have ever... The crazy part about all this is no one would have ever, questioned me. One, because Americans are stupid and they don't fact-check anybody, to include their elected officials and government leaders and all that stuff. But also, and furthermore, if I would have shared that on social media, if Dale Jackson would have shared this post right here, Chinese authority seized 12 tons of beaver genitalia smuggled from Canada. And then they go into this. There's an elaborate article here about, that's the one that Joe Rogan referenced, okay? And I was wondering I started Googling around for it while it was hard to find it, but I found it finally. And it's a really well-written article about how 400 to 600,000 beavers must have been killed or trapped to produce the 12.7 tons of genitalia. In China, medicine, the beaver genitalia is a cure for a male problem that exists, much like the rhino horn, if that makes sense. For those of you that will know what that means, it's kind of like a status symbol over there. It doesn't do anything, but they think it, or they believe that it helps males have a better evening with their wife, if you will. And so if we shared this story today, it would get commented on 100 times. It would get shared. And no one would ever stop for a moment like I did. I saw something at the top right corner, and I was like, well, dang, that's not real. And I stopped the story dead in its tracks. I called it out, and I said, you know what, guys? Man, I got this one wrong. And that's the problem, Connor. That is the problem. When you're an idiot, it's okay to be an idiot. You know what I'm saying? You just got to call yourself out. One thing we are here is self-aware. If we're nothing else, we're self-aware. We know we're stupid. It's okay. No biggie. We're funny. That's all that really matters. You join this show to be entertained. So, man, golly, that is frustrating. Speaking of that podcast with Joe Rogan, I don't like Joe Rogan's podcast, just to be clear. I can't stand the amount of language that he uses. It's an F-bomb every other word. So if you've not listened to it, don't tune in on my account. It's just not something I can. But I got a call. If you'll remember Matt Coulson, he hosts this show with me from time to time. The Matt Coulson blog, the Free Thinker, I think is his social media game. You should check his stuff out. He's really, really good. And we're working on a concept. I know some of you guys want me to go a little deeper into some of the political stuff, and that's not really my bag. That's for guys like Dale, smarter people like Dale, and then rush after him to dive into that. But for me, I like to live life and report it back to you here, kind of a thing. It's less about politics and more about my life, our life, the show's life, Connor's life, news of the day, stuff like that. I mean, we're going to cover it all, but it's really going to be more or less politics, more fun as best we can. And so Matt's going to continue to maybe take some of the concepts that we talk about, some of the political stuff, whatever, and deep dive a little bit further. I mean, he's doing the stuff anyways. He's got a great blog. I don't know if blog is the thing anymore, but he puts out great content on social media that is incredibly informative and well thought out. And so anyways, he called me and was like, man, this Joe Rogan podcast I'm listening to right now is really up your alley. And I'm like, I hate Joe Rogan. And he's like, yeah, but it's Edward Snowden. You need to check it out. And I mean, I love me some Edward Snowden. So I jumped in, and it led to me listening to about three Joe Rogan podcasts, or trying to listen to about three different ones. I landed on one that was really good. Jonathan Jonas. He won a survivalist TV show on Discovery Channel or History Channel, whatever. But it all started with Edward Snowden, and we're going to have to talk about that for sure. In fact, we'll talk about that when we come back from this next break, and then we'll save our slow pitch softball segment for. Let's be honest. The outside of Q, none of those people are up right now. So, which may make it smarter to do it now. But I'm not that smart, as we've just discovered. So we'll dive into some of that. But this Edward Snowden thing is pretty scary. It's pretty scary. You start talking about the Patriot Act. Think about that name. Think about the Patriot Act. Why they name it the Patriot Act? It's like, if you vote against this, you're not a real patriot. Like, it was propaganda in the name. The name of it itself was propaganda. And it turned out to be one of the most overreaching, pieces of legislature that we're still dealing with, that I can understand. I mean, I do understand the reasoning behind it. I mean, I watched the towers fall. I mean, I get it. But I think in a coronavirus influenced government time where we see not everything the government does is in our best interest or has our best interest in mind or at heart, I think it's quite easy to look back at things like that and say, wait a minute. Do you mean to tell me that maybe the government used a really bad situation like 9/11 to pull the wool over my eyes and take away some of my freedom? No way. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that, Connor. Would they?
You might be surprised.
Oh, I might be surprised. Well, we'll talk about that when we get back. I need to pull the actual piece of legislature up so I can speak about it intelligently. But it was a very, very informative podcast. We're going to try to get this news out to you. This is something very important to me when it comes to like net neutrality and that type of stuff. So hang with us when we come back. We'll talk through Joe Rogan, Edward Snowden. You're listening to Zach Walker, your big, beautiful bearded host. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. Rush Limbaugh is America's dominant talk radio host, and he can only be found on Alabama's dominant talk radio station.
Today marks a milestone in the race for the White House. Voters in Virginia and Minnesota can begin casting their ballots today. Both President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden will campaign in Minnesota later today. COVID-19 continues to be the main issue of the campaign, and the CDC has been in the spotlight, especially as more information is revealed about controversial testing guidance issued by the CDC. More from ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
The guidance, widely criticized after it was released last month, said patients without symptoms should not get tested for COVID, even if they were exposed to someone who is infected. According to an email obtained by the New York Times, Trump administration officials at the Health and Human Services Department rewrote that guidance despite warnings from doctors to actually ramp up testing.
Yosemite National Park closing because of wildfire smoke. Rangers say expected to stay that way until at least next week. And over 300,000 utility customers in Florida and Alabama still in the dark after Hurricane Sally. Brian Clark, ABC News.
What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful bearded host here on Hometown Heartbeat. I wanted to talk about my friends over at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a church creative or pastor and throughout this coronavirus, you have decided it's time to invest in your live stream capabilities, look at what we're doing here. The Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat are proudly produced by Cotton Row Productions, and they are the best in live media production and creative for your church. They work with any budget, any amount of equipment. Look, it's a frustrating process, I know, and they are the best in the business at getting you and your message live streamed. And when we're talking about the gospel, what more important message? So reach out to my friends at Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355. Again, that's 256-289-7355. And when you call, make sure you ask for producer Connor from Hometown Heartbeat and the Dale Jackson Show. They'll take great care of you.
Oftentimes, people save their fine dining experience for a special occasion. That's wonderful, but isn't all of life a celebration?
I survived Tuesday.
We finished the homework and nobody cried.
I was awake for the entire conference call.
Life is short. Why wait to celebrate?
Join us at the Rail Yard for an extraordinary meal. Just because we'll be reopening on August 13th, reclaiming the spot for downtown Decatur's hottest spot for delicious farm to fork Southern comfort food, craft beer, craft cocktails, and always great times. That recipe, combined with the amazing atmosphere of the local history of downtown Decatur, makes the Rail Yard the perfect place for an afternoon lunch or a relaxing evening out. The Rail Yard on 2nd Avenue in beautiful downtown Decatur. Make your reservations online at therailyarddecatur.com or call 256-580-5707. That's 580-5707. Craft beer, farm to fork, Southern comfort food, and always a good time.
News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host of your favorite, the smartest show on the radio every day right here on WVNN. I have tried really hard to find what I was talking about, and I was unable to do so. Connor is diligently working on it as we speak. Hopefully, he will be able to. I've got the transcript from the 3-hour podcast. Oh, okay, cool. Let me dive into here and see if I can find the exact sentence I was talking about. And they were doing it at they were talking at a much higher level but they didn't just skim right over it by any stretch. But anyways, we'll work on finding some of that. I think that's going to be really important for us to talk about today. Obviously, it was so important that I wrote it down so that I didn't have to spend all morning looking for it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's obviously important to us. So let's talk about last night then while we have a minute. We played softball last night. You know, we played a little slow pitch. Dale, Antonio is very interested in joining us for some slow pitch softball. What say you on?
No.
Sorry, why not?
He does not have time. That guy is the most stretched human being that I've ever met. He's the hardest worker. There's no way, absolutely not. I forbid it.
Wait, hold on a minute. You forbid him from getting out and playing a game for an hour every now and again?
That's absolutely correct.
Why? Oh, then you have to come play.
Absolutely. I don't have any time either.
I don't either.
I just want my kid to leave me alone for 15 minutes a night. That's all I'm looking for right now. There's no way I'm getting away for an hour or so to do that. No way.
What's going on, Dale? I feel like we need to have a "Tell me how you feel" segment. You want to say, come on in here to the couch of Dr. Zach. How does it make you feel, Dale?
It's a pretty wild life. I'm pretty busy. Antonio's pretty busy, and I don't think that he'll be out there playing softball with you anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, it was. Unfortunately, the team's full, you know, and so we may get him out for a fill-in game because he said he wanted to get out there. I mean, he does live on this side of town. It's about 5 minutes from him, so it would be an hour and 15 minutes of his life that I'm sure he wastes at some point. I'll bet you we can find an hour and 15 minutes in everyone's day that is not used as wisely as it could be. So, you know, if he really wants to get out there and play a game, he could probably make time to do that. But that being said, we play a few nights a week. Just because it's I don't know, it's my thing. It's what I do, I guess. And I understand being that busy. I used to be that busy. I probably still am. My wife's probably sitting there listening and saying, wait a minute, you are that busy. You just squeeze the stuff in that you want to squeeze in. Because if we're being honest, that's what we do as people. We squeeze in what we want to squeeze in. But I have been playing with Bird and my buddy's name is Bird. He actually, if you listen to this show, he is Web Underdog, the our web design company, and they built thehometownheartbeat.com and working on Dale Jackson's page. So we'll have some new websites for you coming soon. But he, you know, I started, I guess we'll go all the way back to 5 years ago. I first started playing softball. I was playing with the church team at the church we were attending at the time, and went out for one game. I realized very quickly that wasn't going to be conducive for me to stay on the team where I was also going to church, because the team had myself and one other guy that really knew what they were doing at all. And that would be Jack Cruz, who is now one of my best buddies and getting married next weekend, I believe. Congratulations, Jack. But we started playing with we put our own team in. I got scooped up by Bird 5 years ago, and the rest is history. So we play together every year. It's just a little rec league here in Athens. It's run incredibly well, and we have one of the best rec leagues around. Obviously, with the leadership in place, you should expect that. But we have great time out there, and there's always stuff about softball that intrigues me. I used to play softball at a really, really high level, and It got crazy, overly competitive for me. It's softball. Like, it is slow pitch softball. Has anybody ever heard Jim Rome's softball guy? I'm going to pull that video. We're actually probably going to watch that today because it's so apropos would be the way I would put it. I mean, it's just very applicable today. But so Angry Young Softball Guy is that guy that he believes if his high school coach didn't hate him, that he would have been better than Derek Jeter. He believes that. Yes, because every baseball coach I know is like, you see that kid right there? That kid right there? He's the best I've ever seen. He may be better than Derek Jeter. I hate him. Because that just obviously doesn't happen. But there's a bunch of those guys out there, those guys that they don't understand they're no longer playing a game that matters and they're just having fun. Like out there getting a few pops with their buddies. You know, some of you might choose to have a cold drink and play. Like that might be your outlet. You know, it's like bowling for people in a lot of ways. It's your outlet, right? It's you just get out. It's not that. Look, there are no slow pitch softball scholarships being awarded. Okay, you can't go to college for it. You can't get a degree for it. You're probably not going to get paid for it. It's a hobby. It is just a hobby. It's fun. We have a good time. We all laugh. We joke. Now, we're competitive because we're competitors, and that's probably why that's our hobby. That's probably why we don't I don't know, what's another hobby? We don't game. We don't, I don't know, that having that sports, that athletic, that competitive outlet for us is a big deal. It's all I've ever done. My entire life I've played baseball, competitive, high-level baseball. I want to play high-level something. Softball fills that gap. Now, last night, I happened to strike out in slow pitch softball. I'll let that breathe for a minute. And unfortunately, I did so swinging. I actually missed in slow pitch softball. I swung and I missed. And then I hit 2 home runs. And so it didn't really matter. But a very competitive game. And so just to illustrate, if I would have told my story about last night and not mentioned the fact that I'd struck out, I would have been crucified. Oh, you didn't want to talk about how you struck out, huh? So there it is. I swung and missed at a softball. I swung, I missed at a softball. Lobbed in the air at like 0.8 miles an hour. Okay? There it is. I said it. Got it out of the way. I've seen it happen a million times, and it got me. What can you do? That being said, if you lose a softball game, a slow pitch, rec league softball game, and you're so angry that you feel the need to scream back across the field, at least make sure you know the rules. Because last night, at the end of our game, one very angry, very large fella was disappointed in his interpretation of how the game went down. Apparently, you're not allowed to stand in the grass if you're an infielder, which is absurdity. You can stand wherever you want. And not to let it go, because I'm not good at just letting things fly. You know what I'm saying, Connor? Like, I have a really hard time just, we'll let that one ride. No, I'm going to say something. I hollered back, by God, I'll play in a sandbox if I want to. I'll play wherever I want. You should just play better and you won't lose. That didn't go well. That was not received well. So needless to say, we had a little bit of a... Look, slow pitch softball is a unique thing. There is a very unique culture about slow pitch softball. And once upon a time, I was very much a part of that culture. At the tournament level, we used to go all over the country playing softball, and I enjoy it. I miss it at times. Softball's a lot of fun, but folks, it is just a recreational game. It's a game that doesn't matter if you win, doesn't matter if you lose. If you take a loss from slow pitch softball any further than the back door of that dugout, you have taken it way too far. You've taken it too far. It's slow pitch softball. Well, I mean, I'm trying to think of the equivalent for people that don't understand what I'm talking about. But I used to tell, when I coached baseball, I used to ask my parents, like, hey, if your kid lost a game of Halo or Fortnite, would you be mad that they didn't win the championship? Well, no. It's just a freaking game. Same thing here. Look, I don't like to lose Monopoly I'm not going to let my son beat me in Chutes and Ladders. I'm the most competitive person on the face of the planet. But when the game's over and the fat lady's singing, take it to the truck. Laughing, joking, having a good time. Pick up the phone, call your wife, tell her you love her. If you can allow a loss from slow pitch softball in rec league to get you so fired up that you take it all the way to the parking lot. You are angry young softball guy. You are that idiot. You just don't even know it. And if you're getting fired up at me right now, it's because you're that guy. If you're in your truck driving to work, you're like, I'm that guy. Guess what? You're that guy. Ah, man. There, I got that out. That feels better. That feels really good. Feels really good. Blake Williams is probably out there driving his mail truck right now. He got smoked in the eye with a ball the other night. Looks like he had a black and blue golf ball climb up in his eye. So, Blake, hope you're feeling well, buddy. Hope you're doing all right. If you can see your phone, you feel free to give us a call, 866-494-9866, 866-494-WVNN. Let's go to a break. When we come back, we will talk about more important things that actually matter. We won't talk about our feelings in softball and Row Tide and Row Trump. Remember that idiot? When we come back, we'll dive into some of the news of the day. We've got to talk about dogs are racist. You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. I'm Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
You go as hard as you can. And then a little harder.
And then it was like I stepped funny, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I could barely walk on it.
Okay, let's take a look.
At Lang Chiropractic, we'll help your sports performance and your overall health by improving your range of motion, flexibility, relieving inflammation, and so much more. Focusing to improve your health and wellness in all areas of your life. Whether you're having trouble with back pain, neck pain, or just want to start feeling better when you wake up in the morning, Dr. David Lang is focused on a whole person approach, finding those underlying causes and creating a personalized plan for your individual needs. Schedule your visit by calling 256-444-1600. That's 444-1600. At Lang Chiropractic on Highway 72 East in Athens in the Publix Shopping Center. Visit us online at langchiropracticcenter.com. Lang Chiropractic. We've got your back. Come see us today.
This is Mike 4 years ago. This is Mike having the same conversation with Debbie just last month. And today, he's at it again.
What's that, Mike?
I said our house is still underwater.
How do you know? Have you had it appraised lately?
Oh, well, no.
Has the coronavirus made your life less financially stable? Are you worried about your next mortgage payment? Reed's Family REI is a family-based real estate investing company ready to buy your house for cash in any area or condition and close in 2 weeks. You don't have to fix it up. There's no agent fees, and we handle the closing costs. Selling a home can be very stressful, and Wyatt Reed and his team at Reed's Family REI will put together the best possible offer for your specific needs. Sell your home fast with Reed's Family REI. 931-292-2875. That's 931-292-2875. And online at reedsfamilyrei.org. Reed's Family REI. Creative real estate experts for all your buying or selling needs.
Karen's a quilter.
Karen's Quality Quilts. Quality custom quilts quickly.
How's the quilting business, Karen?
Kinda quiet. My quest to quadruple my quilting sales has created a quagmire.
Can I be candid, Karen?
Okay.
You need a website that can encompass the quality of your quilts.
I know quilts, but I know no computers. They're confusing.
But there are people who know coding like you know quilting.
Who's that?
I'm glad you asked. Web Underdog creates websites that don't just catch the eye, they catch customers. And they're as user-friendly for you as they are for your clients. We build high-quality, clean, well-coded, custom designs for organizations of all sizes that are affordable, professional, and specially made for your brand and visitors. Outside of responsive web design, Web Underdog also offers search engine optimization, website management, and so much more. Give your business the professional touch and contact Web Underdog for a free web design quote. Call 256-998-0667. That's 998-0667 and online at webunderdog.com. Web Underdog, your local web design and SEO agency.
In any home, cabinets are an instrumental part of your design. So, when you open your current cabinets, what instrument do they play? Wouldn't you rather they sounded like this? They can. It just takes one call to us.
Cabinet Express Online, North Alabama's premier cabinet supplier. Whether you want a complete custom kitchen or some of our RTA line, at Cabinet Express Online, you will get the most value out of your hard-earned money every time. Are you looking for framed or frameless? Either way, in no time at all, your dream kitchen can be a reality. And the only place you should trust to bring that dream to life is Cabinet Express Online. Schedule your free design consultation today with Cabinet Express Online. Call 256-289-7355. That's 289-7355. And online at CabinetExpressOnline.com. Design your custom kitchen today with Cabinet Express Online.
News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host here on the smartest, your favorite, the best show in morning radio. We are going to dive into this. I just got to knock this story out of the way. This is from UnitedWildlifeUnion.com. This is not satire. I have done all the researching I can do to make sure that this indeed is not satire. This is real. This is honest. This is true. Why white people owning dogs is racist. I'm going to let that breathe. Way back in time, almost 12,500 years ago, the first canines were becoming domesticated. Through toil and hardship, people had earned the trust of our now beloved best friends. This guy sounds like a lunatic. The symbiotic relationship between dog and woman was very groundbreaking. Humans had never been this close to an animal before. Humans would provide shelter, care for the dogs, and in turn, these dogs would hunt and fetch for humans. The reason I am detailing this history for you is so everyone understands the importance of the events that took place those years ago. Stay with me. We're almost there. According to a bioarchaeologist, the dude's got actual sources here, by the way. Sources. The domestication of dogs started in two places, Eastern and Western Eurasia. The Eurasian people worked nonstop to gain and maintain the trust with these gorgeous creatures. But it was all stolen from them. Greedy white people stained the history books forever. Folks, I'm just reading this word for word, okay? I'm not, other than when I said he sounds like an idiot, other than that, I'm not making any of this up. Shortly after the Eurasian people worked so hard to train and bond with wolves, most of them were shipped off and given to Europeans. These filthy white savages. Let me read that again. These filthy white savages took the work and credit from the Eurasian people and branded these magnificent creatures as their own. The need for white people to claim pre-made or pre-discovered things is not isolated to just this incident. Countless times in history, whites have been caught stealing the work and talent of people of color for their own success. Honestly speaking, we should not be surprised that white people would steal the domestication of dogs as well. Based on historical knowledge, this behavior will not slow down within the white community. If you're white and you own a dog, you are openly participating and advocating for cultural appropriation and colonialism. Reinforcing this culture is not acceptable and will have its repercussions. Dogs are and always will be the living reminder of how tainted our history is as a whole. People of color deserve to exclusively own dogs as a form of restitution for their stolen ancestors' work. Supporting the idea of white dog ownership is spitting on the grave of people of color. If you are white and you own a canine, please consider donating them to a local people of color family or non-kill shelter so it can truly find the right home. Okay, we got through that. Dale Jackson, I would love to get your take on this.
I think that sounds like a completely reasonable and rational take, and I think that everyone should take their dogs and take it to a no-kill shelter this morning.
Do you own a dog?
I actually had two really great dogs up until a couple of years ago. They both died. But yeah.
Racist!
This whole thing is.
You're a racist!
Yeah. Double racist. I had 2 of them.
Oh, my God. I have 3. What does that make me? Adolf Hitler? Like, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. How someone in society can become this stupid. Like, are you born this way, or is it a learned behavior? Because you, sir, are a freaking idiot. I'm sorry. I had to get that out. That felt really good, though, actually. Connor, what do you have to say?
I'm trying to find out more about this United Wildlife Union, because part of me thinks that that's just such an extreme position that this almost can't be real.
I thought the same. But I've not been able to corroborate that. It looks like it is a blog. So this is a very much personal deal. I mean, this is something this guy wrote, this Cade fella. It says they're a nonprofit. So you could pull up the nonprofit. You should be able to look up nonprofits and see if you can find the 501c3 if you want to really dive into it. But at the end of the day, the fact that this was written. Oh, this is the same guy that wrote the how the seahorses are breaking the gender stereotypes article that I mentioned last week. Same fella. That's weird. 2 of his articles I've read them. But anyways, whether this guy, like, obviously I don't think this guy is anybody. Like, I think he's somebody with a keyboard and a blog that he can write crazy stuff like that. But the fact that it's even been written blows my mind. Like, anyways, I don't even want to give that more time than it deserves. I mean, it deserves like the rest of the show just to make fun of that guy. It's probably what I should do.
But I wonder if he's just trolling.
I don't think he's trolling. I could be wrong, but I don't think you'll find out. I don't think there's any way to know. Here's the thing. Let me back up and to say I don't even care if he's trolling, because the fact that he wrote it.
But does he?
Hold on. The fact that it's been written and it's possible that people would believe this, because it's not preposterous that somebody would write an article like this. It's not preposterous. Are you kidding me? There are articles written about everything is racist.
That specific article seemed to always go one step further into the extreme
by saying what filthy white savages. Is that what got you?
That other stuff, yeah. It just seemed too bold.
Okay, but the concept is not out of the realm of possibility. The fact that a journalist would write an article that owning a dog is racist would not shock you. If you saw it on the New York Post, you'd be like, "Oh, no, look at that." It wouldn't shock you. You're right. The way this one was written was a little over the top. I had my questions about it too. But the fact that it could be real, dude, 5-10 years ago, if something like this would have come out, we would have been like, "Oh, that's the Onion." Funny article. You know what? A stand-up comedian would have been able to make a joke about it and not be crucified. Nowadays, I hate that. I mean, look, stand-up comedy is dead. Stand-up comedians all over the place will never find work ever again unless they're a raging liberal. In which case, Amy Schumer should be fine. But you can't joke about anything anymore without it being racist or you getting canceled. I don't know. This is just Connor's on a mission over here to prove that this is a troll article.
Well,
I for one don't care. The point is the point, regardless of whether it's a troll article or not.
Aside from the website itself, I can't find anything else on this United Wildlife Union.
Yeah,
they're not in the 501c3 database.
So you're just gonna have to make a call yourself on whether or not you think. You know what? Give us a call. 1-866-494-9866. The article I just read to you. I want to hear from you. Just vote. Real or not real? Troll or no troll? Did this guy mean it? I don't know. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your thoughts. I mean, is it preposterous to you that this could be a real article? Dale, do you think that this is real or fake?
I was laughing. Sorry. 100% real.
So it's not preposterous to you to think that someone is this stupid?
No way. Been covering politics in the world enough. It's real.
Yeah. Let me introduce you to Exhibit B. That would be 1AOC. And it just doesn't. If she wrote this article, it wouldn't surprise me. If this article was on her Twitter, it would not surprise me. You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. We want to hear from you. 1-866-494-9866, 866-494-WVNN. Give us a call. Is this article real or not? You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. We'll be right back.
WVNN Athens, WVNN FM Trinity, a Cumulus station. It's 6 o'clock. News starts now.
From ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. Richard Nixon was the last Republican presidential candidate to carry the state of Minnesota. That was in 1972. Both President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden will campaign today in Minnesota, along with Virginia. That's one of two states where voters can begin casting their ballots today. Thursday, the two candidates clash from afar, largely about the pandemic.
The president in the battleground state of Wisconsin, where cases of coronavirus are on the rise, speaking to a mostly maskless crowd.
We're doing great. We're doing great with vaccines and therapeutics.
Presidential candidate Joe Biden emphasizing trusting scientists over the president, saying on CNN,
that all I know is that the rank and file people, the scientists in each of those agencies, are solid and they're serious. But you've seen how the president has tried to push things through and put a lot of pressure on them.
Romina Puga, ABC News.
Topic of vaccines highlighted a divide between the president and the CDC director, Dr. Robert Redfield, who said it would be the second or third quarter of next year before one was widely available to the general public. Dr. Alok Patel tells ABC News that vaccine development and distribution are two different things.
Pfizer or Moderna could come out with the vaccine ready for data approval in October or November, maybe a little bit later, but we may not be getting the millions of doses available to all Americans until the middle of next year. That's where the discrepancy is.
14 states took legal action trying to stop the post office's new policy of mandating that trucks leave on time even if there's still mail to be loaded. They say it was slowing delivery, and ABC's Mark Remillard says there's been a legal decision.
A judge in Yakima, Washington has issued an injunction against the policy, saying the states have demonstrated the changes are part of a politically motivated attack on the post office and that it could disenfranchise voters, many of whom plan to vote by mail this year.
Over 300,000 in Alabama and Florida still without power after Hurricane Sally. You're listening to ABC News.
Balance of nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
I just had a baby and I'm tired, but I could tell you this, without balance of nature, there's no way I would have the energy I have right now. I've done so many different multivitamins and different things, and I have to definitely say balance of nature is the thing that's really, really helping me right now. I've been listening to these commercials and these testimonials, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But this is a product that I actually could say, holy cow, I see results.
Get a wide variety of all your daily recommended servings of whole fruits and vegetables without having to leave your home. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or by going to balanceofnature.com. Again, that's balanceofnature.com. And make sure to receive this special radio offer by using discount code FRUIT.
This is Mike 4 years ago. This is Mike having the same conversation with Debbie just last month. And today, he's at it again.
What's that, Mike?
I said our house is still underwater.
How do you know? Have you had it appraised lately?
Oh, well, no.
Has the coronavirus made your life less financially stable? Are you worried about your next mortgage payment? Reed's Family REI is a family-based real estate investing company ready to buy your house for cash in any area or condition and close in 2 weeks. You don't have to fix it up. There's no agent fees, and we handle the closing costs. Selling a home can be very stressful, and Wyatt Reed and his team at Reed's Family REI will put together the best possible offer for your specific needs. Sell your home fast with Reed's Family REI. 931-292-2875. That's 931-292-2875. And online at reedsfamilyrei.org. Reed's Family REI. Creative real estate experts for all your buying or selling needs.
No two of us are exactly alike.
That's why you need a financial advisor with the freedom to focus on the details that make your life your own. Your family, the challenges you face, the dreams that inspire you. Whatever your goals, you need an advisor that can create a plan uniquely tailored to you. That's life well planned. To learn more, call Raymond James Financial Advisor Dustin Haraway, 256-705-0300. Located in downtown Huntsville. Raymond James Financial Services, Inc. Member FIRNA SIPC.
News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat, the pulse of Americana, with your beautiful bearded host, Zach Walker. Alabama's best no-holds-barred, constitutionally conservative, Christ-centered talk radio. If that don't fire you up, your wood's wet. Now, it's time for your bearded host, Zach Walker.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful bearded host on the best, the smartest show on Morning Talk Radio. That would be us here at Hometown Heartbeat. If you have a minute, go to www.turnitupturnitdown. I like it. If you have a moment, go to thehometownheartbeat.com. That'd be www.thehometownheartbeat.com. At the top. Watch live, listen live, download the podcast. You can do it all right there. That's home base. That is Operation Command Center. Operation Command Center there. We're going to move past. Connor is still over here obsessing over that article being satire. It does appear that there is a satirical article on the same site. That doesn't make that satire. But we're just going to have to win in Rome on that one. Dale Jackson, I have a question for you. One out of 1 to 10, where's our excitement level currently?
I've dropped down to about a 9 right now.
Uh-oh, it's time to re-engage one Dale Jackson. Dale, will there be debates before the election? Will Biden and Trump actually get together in one room and debate?
I think so at this point. I think that Biden pretty much has to do it. If he backs out, he's going to get crushed. Plus, most of the moderators are going to be helping him. And I think that it's pretty clear that they're on his side. Watch these town halls. You saw yesterday he was at a CNN town hall, Biden was. And what you'll learn is the ABC town hall was full of people asking Trump why he's so terrible. And the CNN town hall was full of people asking Biden why Trump is so terrible. So I think we know where all of this is going. It's Trump versus Biden and the media, and Biden knows that that's his advantage, so he can't back out.
Yeah, and I think the fear in that for if you're in the Biden camp is there will be no prompters. You can't. I mean, you can't. And Joe has not given any off the cuff, and I know they'll do their best to script it. He'll probably know all the questions beforehand, and that's why Joe Rogan's offer was so fantastic. Wouldn't you love to see that? 4 hours unfiltered Joe Rogan sitting between Biden and Trump. No, because Joe Rogan hates both of them, really, which would be a fantastic moderator for a debate. But isn't the fear for the Biden camp right now his cognitive function being exposed as existent? I mean, because he's gonna have to respond off the cuff to comments, questions, whatever. You can't plan everything, huh?
Yeah, I think that's true. There will be sort of a scripted response to everything that's out there that he'll have to remember. He did okay at the town hall yesterday. There wasn't too much going on, but everything he says is contradictory, and he doesn't get called on it. When he is on that stage with Trump, it's not going to be this nice, hey, why are you so awesome? Aren't you awesome situation? Trump's going to be like, you're a liar. Here's why. And it's going to be ugly. And Biden will have to think on his feet.
Yeah, I think that's the fear. That have you noticed how have you seen any of the video of him like walking in? By the way, did you see that Despacito incident he had?
Yeah, it was pretty embarrassing.
Did you actually watch it? It was fantastic. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. It's amazing. Someone in his staff said to him, hey, go out here and play this. And
goes, that's the thing for me. Like, someone that's getting paid lots of money told him that would be a good idea. I want to sit around that board table. Like, you're sitting in the conference room. It's me, it's Dale Jackson, it's Connor, and we are the campaign management team for Antonio for radio, president in 2024. And we're like, you know what, Antonio? All right, yeah, you are a white guy, and you are going into the Spanish neighborhood here in town, and we've got to connect with the Spanish vote. What are we going to do here? Connor's like, play the Macarena. We're like, oh, okay, yeah, sounds good. That must be Spanish. That'll get us some votes. Like, huh? What, Connor? What?
Well, to be fair, I mean, they had the singer of the song
No,
introduced.
I get that.
Yeah.
No, I know this. I mean, Fonzie or whatever.
Yeah.
He's fantastic, by the way. Like, when it comes to musicians, as far as that goes, like, I don't love his music, but there's a show called Songland. If you haven't watched it, it's really cool. But they have these independent singer-songwriters come in and pitch their songs to these huge mega artists, and Fonzie was one of them. And it was an incredible show, and he's an incredible musician and all talented and all those things. But okay, let me put it a different way. If Snoop Dogg was introducing Donald Trump at a get out the black vote rally, say, right? They wanted to really rally the black community. And Donald Trump awkwardly walked to the front, and he was like, you know what, Snoop? I've got something for you. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it. Like, black people would crucify Donald Trump. Oh, he's playing it's cultural appropriations. He's playing rap music just because we're black. What? He thinks black music is going to get. He thinks he's going to get black people to vote for him just because he plays rap music. Like, it was just poor form. Like, and it didn't look good. And I don't think it was. It certainly wasn't received well. It was hilarious. It was great for people that talk about stuff like this on the radio. So I appreciate him for that. But then again, he's given me a ton of that. But have you noticed how he walks? Anybody notice how he's walked? Like how he picks his feet up, like real, like higher than he needs to. And when you see it, it's like one of those. I'm not trying to make fun of him by any stretch. It's one of those things that actually had a nurse pointed out, and it's indicative of, like, I don't know. I got to go find the article I was reading, but a nurse like pointed it out, and I watched it. I'm like, I've seen the way like that before, and it's like I don't know. It's like the older people that are, I don't know. It just, he doesn't seem healthy. Even Joe Rogan yesterday on his podcast was with whoever he was talking to was like, I mean, he is not a Trump fan by any stretch, and he's like, man, I just have a really hard time believing that Biden has the health to make it 4 years, I mean, not that he won't.
The thing is, they're both 70+ years old.
Yeah.
And one of them acts like it, and the other doesn't, and that's the difference.
Yeah, no, it borders on senior abuse. What's happening to Joe Biden? I think. I mean, he's cognitively incapable. I mean, he can't. I'm not sure he doesn't wear diapers. I'm just saying. I mean, if he doesn't yet, he's almost there. Mookie Betts, I got $5 if anybody knows who that is. Mookie Betts. Anybody? Antonio would know, but
baseball player.
Hey, there he is. Plays for you probably have seen the headline then that I'm about to talk about. Los Angeles Dodgers right fielder Mookie Betts, who is, I mean, he's a stud. Okay, he's one of the best in the game. He's a black fella. He came out condemning the ambush with a hashtag that may get him canceled. This is a black man, Major League Baseball player. I'm angered and disappointed by the ambush of 2 LA deputies in Compton. My prayers are with both deputies. Hashtag justice for all. Whoa. You know what's sad? That's not even like a forward-thinking stance. Like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, we would have been like, well, of course he did. Everybody did. Every player in every league across every sport, across every country feels that way. And now it's a freaking headline when one person says they're concerned for 2 cops that were ambushed in an assassination attempt. I want you to let that sink in. Let's go to Sparky in Huntsville on line 3. Sparky, bring it in here, big fella. Sparky? Sparky in Huntsville on line 3. Dale Jackson. Anybody there? Bueller.
Yeah, I don't know why that's working. Hold on 1 second.
All right. Holding. All right, we're going to move on. The fact that the Dodgers star is like, dude, he's going to get crucified for this. He's going to get crucified for this, and he shouldn't, obviously. One of the deputies has been released. The other's still fighting for her life. The one with the young child is still fighting for her life. And then on the other side of the token, the ruling class here, they get to do whatever they want. So Joe Biden and Anderson Cooper finish their town hall, and then Biden starts whispering in Cooper's ear, which is an interesting image in the first place. To say the least, but is undoubtedly not very socially distant. We've got Sparky back, I think, so let's give Sparky a try again. Sparky from Huntsville on line 3, are you there, sir? That'd be strike 2.
He's having some issue there. I hold on 1 second. I think we got an issue here. Hold on.
Okay, strike 2. Just think, last night I would have swung through the next one and been out. It would have been a strikeout. Why don't you go to break? Let's go to break, Dale, if you want, and then we can maybe get Sparky on the line during break and get him queued up for the next segment. Maybe that would work better. But yeah, this video clip of Anderson Cooper.
Sorry, I'm having a bit of a meltdown here. I'll take care of it. Just keep talking.
Okay, buddy, no problem. I just thought it might have then been going to break, and I was going to be just cut off. No problem at all, man. The imagery here of Joe Biden leaning over and whispering sweet nothings into Anderson Cooper's ear in the middle of a pandemic when they stand there and scream at you, "Wear your mask!" And neither of them are wearing masks. They're not social distancing. It is sure is precious. It just goes to show you they don't mean what they say. They don't know what they're saying, and they really don't care. They just want you to listen, shut up, and do what you're told. You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. We'll be right back.
You go as hard as you can. And then a little harder.
And then it was like I stepped funny, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I could barely walk on it.
Okay, let's take a look.
At Lang Chiropractic, we'll help your sports performance and your overall health by improving your range of motion, flexibility, relieving inflammation, and so much more. Focusing to improve your health and wellness in all areas of your life. Whether you're having trouble with back pain, neck pain, or just want to start feeling better when you wake up in the morning, Dr. David Lang is focused on a whole person approach, finding those underlying causes and creating a personalized plan for your individual needs. Schedule your visit by calling 256-444-1600. That's 444-1600 at Lang Chiropractic on Highway 72 East in Athens in the Publix Shopping Center. Visit us online at langchiropracticcenter.com. Lang Chiropractic, we've got your back. Come see us today.
Though the world is full of wonders to amaze you as you roam, some of life's greatest treasures are found very close to home.
Find your own treasures at Highway 31 Flea Market. We have it all. Lots of furniture, both painted and project pieces, along with chairs, tables, televisions, books, and so much more. Our prices are unbeatable with products you'll love. Maybe you're looking for a bed frame or maybe some tools. You'll find a great selection right here at Highway 31 Flea Market. We also have all kinds of collectibles and antiques. Want even more deals? You can jump on board with our week-long online auctions, beginning every Tuesday at 7 p.m. It's simple. You can join the auction at fleamarket.highbid.com. That's fleamarket.hibid.com. And be sure to visit us Monday through Saturday from 9 till 5 at Highway 31 Flea Market on Highway 31 South in Athens. What will you find when you shop Highway 31 Flea Market?
Hardfart Tees is the source for all the t-shirts that you really want. Specializing in witty, original t-shirt designs geared toward gamers, anime fans, Whovians, kaiju groupies, geeks of all types, and anyone with a great sense of humor. Aardvark Tees provide shirts in all sizes from youth to 5XL. Whether you need custom printing for businesses, schools, churches, groups, reunions, and more, call or message Aardvark Tees for your printing needs today. Call 256-732-4743 or online at aardvarktees.com.
What's better than pizza? That's right, nothing. Well, maybe except for the many ways you can eat it.
I like thinner crust. Oh, and with a side of ranch.
I'll take mine with a pretty crazy assortment of toppings. Thousands. With a side of wings. Hot ones.
Pizza. It's a beautiful thing and found all over the world. But for your slice of the pie here locally, you want to try Donato's Pizza in Madison. Enjoy our famous pizzas loaded with edge-to-edge toppings, 100 slices of pepperoni, the family recipe sausage, fresh hand-cut veggies, and premium cheeses like our aged smoked provolone. You'll notice the Donato's difference. But why stop there? We also offer subs, calzones, wings, and desserts. Don't keep eating those same old leftovers. Make tonight a Donato's night with Donato's Pizza on Madison Boulevard in Madison. Call 256-772-6789. That's 772-6789. And online at Donatos.com. Donato's Pizza, where every piece is important.
News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker. I'm big, I'm bold, and beautiful. I am your bearded host. And we're here on, what is today? Oh my goodness, it's Friday. We need to write a Friday song so we could have a Friday song for Friday.
We've already litigated this. There is a Friday song, Sitting and Waiting on You. Rebecca Black, Friday, 2011, Song of the Year. Dale knows what I'm talking about. Right?
You made me listen to that song once.
Yeah, we did. We listened to it on the air.
I lost brain cells, and I had a headache for the rest of the day. That's
Friday
a no,
song.
That's a no-go. Plus, Facebook will shut down the stream. So, yeah, Connor made a good point. That we need to be more judicious in letting you know that we will be moving to Facebook away from Facebook and to YouTube exclusively. Maybe it's time to go ahead and do that. Maybe it's time to just, and then what we'll do is we'll share the YouTube link back on Facebook, which Facebook hates, by the way. But Facebook just released another piece of Gestapo-esque restrictions on live streamers, and so it's gonna get really difficult for us to continue to stream on Facebook with the new music regulations they're putting in place. They're pretty rough. I don't know who Mark Zuckerberg thinks he is, but he acts like he's one of the richest, most powerful men in the world. You know, I don't get it where he comes off thinking he's somebody important. You know, but hey, you all right over there, Dale? Dale's dead.
I'm back.
Hey! Scale of 1 to 10. We were at a 14, then down to an 8. Where are we now at the bottom of the hour?
I don't know what you mean, but I'm good.
Oh, Tony Mack! My bad, buddy. My bad. How are you, man?
I'm well. How are you?
So I'm good, thank you. I'm good. We have to fill you in. First of all, let me explain to you what I was asking. I check in with Dale periodically, and I'll just say 1 to 10, where are we at? And he'll give me a scale, a number between 1 and 10 as to how excited he is at that given moment to be up early working on our show. So he started at a 14, and then we checked in towards the bottom of the first hour, and he was only at an 8. And so now it's your turn.
Oh, I'm like a hard 6.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know,
so my show needs to get a little bit better because we start really well and then apparently we just go downhill. So, no, I'm kidding. We were talking, Dale and I were talking earlier about, I was filling everybody in on my slow pitch softball game last night in which I struck out swinging. I just want to tell you that. I want to get that out of the way. If I don't say that, somebody's going to be like, oh yeah, well you didn't tell everybody you struck out. You made fun of us, but you didn't say you struck out. You struck out. Yeah, I struck out, okay? And then I hit a freaking 400-foot shot. I was 4 for 5. Shut up. Anyways, I was telling him that you had some interest in joining us on a slow pitch softball endeavor, and he forbid it. He forbid it from happening. He said, I, Dale Jackson, forbid Antonio from playing softball. He will not be joining you. He's not coming. What do you have to say for yourself?
I don't think that that's, something he can prevent.
I didn't think so. I didn't think he adopted you officially or something, but I was just curious. He actually was he was quite complimentary. He said Antonio's one of the hardest working guys I know, and that he's got a lot going on, and adding one more thing to his plate probably wouldn't make sense. And I was like, well, it is in Athens. The games are 55 minutes long. I'm sure an hour and 15 minutes probably wouldn't, break the old time bank over there. But anyways, that just wanted to fill you in on that. Now, what do you think about old Mookie Betts coming out and saying what everybody should be saying, but having the balls to say it? Did you see that? Did you see the headline?
Didn't see it.
He came out. He came out last night and said that he was all about that he hated to see what happened to the officers in Compton, and he wants it's not good, and hashtag justice for all.
That's an interesting twist of narrative and flip, because you're starting to see some NFL players and teams do the same thing. Last night you had the Browns and the Bengals get up, and they all locked arms and joined each other at midfield and stood for the national anthem.
Whoa!
And you're starting to see that a lot. You're starting to see, we just want, unity for everyone. We just want things to go well for everyone. We didn't mean all this division and hate. So if Mookie did that as well, you're starting to see some things walk back a little bit. You had a Pittsburgh Steeler, I think, cover up the logo.
Well, to be fair, that's Villanueva. He served in combat in Iraq as a part of the Ranger Regiment. So he.
I understand, but it was because the person that Pittsburgh was honoring actually had performed a drive-by in Pittsburgh.
Oh Lord.
So, again, you see teams jump and start overreacting to just honor this, honor that, virtue signaling, and then players, are starting to actually research things and are starting to flip a little bit. So it's interesting.
Yeah, that virtue signaling is there's two phrases we could probably spend the rest of the show talking about, and that would be virtue signaling and gaslighting, and they're two of the most. If there's a pandemic in this country, it's one of those two. It's not the virus. If we're being honest, it's the gaslight. Gaslighting is probably one of the most. We'll dive into that next segment because I want to make sure we have plenty of time to talk about gaslighting in its entirety. But explain. I don't know that I know the definition of virtue signaling. I know what it gets. I mean, I know what it is conceptually. But how would you describe that, Antonio?
Virtue signaling?
Yeah.
So it took me a while to, it's a concept everybody, I think, actually knows and understands. It's just, hearing the title of it, I've never heard it given a title before. But I would say virtue signaling is a means of social media mostly, where, people will get on there and share things like Black Lives Matter and, we want justice for all to signal that, hey, we're putting stuff up here so we can do the bare minimum and you don't hate me. You know what I mean? It's not like they're getting involved. It's not like they were actually very passionate about what's going on. It's not like they'll do anything after they made that post. But they put that post up there so people don't hate on them. And so people almost essentially when people put, Black Lives Matter in the windows of their businesses so it didn't get smashed. It's not that they agree with it. They put it up there so they don't get their windows bashed in.
That's a really good example. That's the best example right there. I'll read you this definition. See how you like this. It's virtue signaling is a pejorative neologism. Virtue signaling is a pejorative neologism for the conspicuous and disingenuous expression of moral values solely with the intent to enhance one's own image. So the whole pejorative and neologism, all that stuff doesn't matter. It's a disingenuous expression of moral values solely with the intent to enhance your image, your own image, which is exactly what you just said. And you're right. And I use the term patronizing all the time, and I try to scream to Black Americans, you're being patronized by the leaders, by the ruling class. You're being patronized by Joe Biden. You're being patronized by Donald Trump. You're being patronized by all of us. Okay, I mean, anybody who has stood up and said, "Oh, well, Black Lives Matter," all of a sudden, when your life doesn't reflect, when you don't when you've done nothing to actually make it, let me back up and give you an example from my own life, because I know a lot of people say, oh, you talk radio guys, you have a platform, but you don't do anything. So if I stood up here on this platform and I said, hey, you guys, you don't have a right to talk about hurricanes. You don't have a right to talk about, you've not done anything. You've not done anything to help, so quit talking crap about Louisiana and go do something. But yet when Nathan Goldsmith called me and said, hey, man, we're doing a disaster relief trip in New Orleans or in Lake Charles, and I said, no, man, I'm good. I don't really give a rip about New Orleans. That would be patronizing and virtue signaling, right? Like, I'm standing up here saying, there's a problem. I'm all about it. I want to help. I'm here. And then the opportunity exists for me to actually shut my mouth and go do something. And I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, and another great example would be, I don't know if how much time you spend on there, but TikTok stars. You know, you got people that are famous for dancing on TikToks and looking pretty on TikToks, all of a sudden putting Black Lives Matter in their pictures and Black Lives Matter this, Black Lives Matter that, just to say, hey, guys, we're standing up for it, and we know what's going on, and we believe in it, but they don't do anything to help. They're not actively out there trying to do anything.
That's right. No, blackout Instagram. You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. News starts now.
Another former member of the Trump administration is speaking out against the president. It's Olivia Troy. She worked for Vice President Mike Pence.
The truth is, he doesn't actually care about anyone else but himself.
That's an ad out from Republican voters against Trump. Troy told the Washington Post the president showed a flat-out disregard for human life while addressing the pandemic. Vice President Mike Pence, in response, said,
"It reads to me like one more disgruntled employee who's left the White House."
Admiral Brett Joie, the White House coronavirus testing czar, told ABC there's been no political pressure from the president in the race for a COVID-19 vaccine. Earlier this week, President Trump disputed CDC Director Robert Redfield's testimony that a vaccine would likely not be widely available until the middle of next year. Tropical depression in the Gulf of Mexico is likely to turn into Tropical Storm Wilfred later today and eventually bring heavy rain to southeast Texas. Over 300,000 in Florida and Alabama still without power after Hurricane Sally. Brian Clark, ABC News.
What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host here on Hometown Heartbeat. I wanted to talk about my friends over at Cotton Grow Productions. If you're a church, creative, or pastor, and throughout this coronavirus, you have decided it's time to invest in your live stream capabilities, look at what we're doing here. The Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat are proudly produced by Cotton Grow Productions, and they are the best in live media production and creative for your church. They work with any budget, any amount of equipment. Look, it's a frustrating process, I know, and they are the best in the business at getting you and your message live streamed. And when we're talking about the gospel, what more important message? So reach out to my friends at Conroe Productions at 256-289-7355. Again, that's 256-289-7355. And when you call, make sure you ask for producer Connor from Hometown Heartbeat and the Dale Jackson Show. They'll take great care of you.
Oftentimes, people save their fine dining experience for a special occasion. That's wonderful, but isn't all of life a celebration?
I survived Tuesday.
We finished the homework and nobody cried.
I was awake for the entire conference call.
Life is short. Why wait to celebrate?
Join us at the Rail Yard for an extraordinary meal. Just because we'll be reopening on August 13th, reclaiming the spot for downtown Decatur's hottest spot for delicious farm to fork Southern comfort food, craft beer, craft cocktails, and always great times. That recipe, combined with the amazing atmosphere of the local history of downtown Decatur, makes the Rail Yard the perfect place for an afternoon lunch or a relaxing evening out. The Rail Yard on 2nd Avenue in beautiful downtown Decatur. Make your reservations online at therailyarddecatur.com or call 256-580-5707. That's 580-5707. Craft beer, farm to fork, Southern comfort food, and always a good time.
Kathleen Parker is alarmed. She's a columnist at Washington Post. She's worried about the wildfires devastating California, Washington, and Oregon. She's anxious about the tropical storms and hurricanes in the Atlantic Ocean and Gulf of Mexico. Kathleen Parker says it'd be naive to expect that our environment's going to get better by itself because there are 8 billion people crowding the Earth, and we are destroying Earth's natural protective barriers. She says that Earth, after all, is a living organism fighting for her life, and we humans, we're scum. We're the pandemic of Earth. Ms. Parker, who made her bones as a conservative columnist, is now never Trumper. I don't know what happened. She's now spouting this ridiculous environmentalist wackoism that is conventional wisdom on the left. Now, let's get this straight. Earth is not fighting for her life. On planet Earth, hurricanes, tropical storms, floods, fires, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, all of these natural calamities, they're not rare, they're not unexpected, they're not abnormal, they are nature. The Earth is not overcrowded, and human beings, you and me, going about our daily lives as we were created to do, are not a plague. We're not going to destroy the planet. We couldn't if we tried. We've been gifted with our lives on this earth. We are part of nature. We're not a pandemic, despite what liberal fearmongers want you to believe. It's just sickeningly wrong. My friends, this has been a year like no other, and I, for one, can't believe that fall is already here. This month, my good friends at Mahindra are helping tractor buyers by offering special savings during the fall sales event. Enjoy 0% interest for 72 months on select Mahindra models. That's right. Pay no interest for 6 years. Fall is a great time to work your land with a tough Mahindra tractor, so visit whymahindra.com. Build your tractor and your dealer will give you a custom quote and deliver to your property. Mahindra may be the official tractor of tough, but they're making it easy to save. For purchases of select models now through September 30th, 2020. Learn more about Mahindra's fall sales event at whymahindra.com.
Take advantage of rock bottom prices and test drive a Mahindra today at Oakley Enterprises in Florence or visit oakley-equipment.com.
770 AM, 92.5 FM, WBNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host, here on your favorite, the smartest, the only show on the radio you should be listening to from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., Hometown Heartbeat. How late was I?
The music played for a good 20 seconds.
Oh, did it? My bad. I ran out to the truck for a moment and apparently lost track of time. It seems as though we've been able to get Sparky back on the line. Sparky, bring it in here, big fella.
Hey, I'm all for less virtue signaling, and in this town, more turn signaling. Hey, people listening to the sound of my voice, there's a little lever on the right side of your car or truck steering
left
column,
side.
and it activates a little light that shows everybody which way you want to turn. And start to use that, please.
Sparky, I can always count on you to bring something in here that's just straight to the point and just, I'm talking about that. And while you're at it, use your turn signal to move over to the right lane and stop driving slow in the fast lane. I think that should be a criminal. I think that should be a felony. In fact, I want to petition for slow fast lane drivers to be penalized much greater than they currently are. Because between turn signaling, virtue signaling, and slow drivers in the fast lane, the degradation of America is in full effect. Thank you, Sparky, for your call. As always, we appreciate you. While we're talking about, God, that's good. He got you, Connor. You had a good chuckle going on. You are. First of all, I felt like it was a challenge to get Sparky on the line to begin with. I felt like we jostled back and forth with that quite a bit.
He came on. I don't think I was on camera, but I threw my hands up in the air. I was like, woohoo.
Yeah, I did see that. You
it.
pulled a Lane Kiffin. I like it. Did you? You didn't. Never mind. You didn't get that. Okay, so we talked about virtue signaling. Before we talk about gaslighting, let me tell you, we will be giving away a woke shirt today. I will put a picture on our Facebook at Hometown Heartbeat. you will share that picture of our new shirts that are in with a comment saying, "I want one." Tag us in the picture. We will give away a shirt today or tomorrow, whenever. We will do this every day for a little while, or every other day, a couple times a week anyways. Those shirts brought to us by Ardmore Screen Printing and Tees Ardmore? Aardvark. Good Lord. AAR. Dvark. Screen Printing and Tees in Elkmont, Alabama. You need to give them a call. Right now, they're actually doing 15% off for everyone that is a listener of the show. So if you want to order some shirts from Aardvark, tell them the discount code is BEARD, and they will give you 15% off your shirt. So give Aardvark Screen Printing and Tees a call today. Tell Weatherly that Zach sent you, and he'll take good care of you guys. Looks like we have a word of the week suggestion or segment. Our favorite, the one and only historian, John from Elkmont, the official historian of Hometown Heartbeat. Bring it in here, buddy.
Hey, Zach, this has to do with etymology and a little bit of history. A strange word that we use, and it has to do with politics, when somebody crosses somebody or cuts them off. To thwart, T-H-W-A-R-T.
I thought you said to fart. I said, well, that's not a word of the day, John. That's a little crude, but thwart. I got you.
What did you think I said?
I thought you said fart. I thought you was talking about passing gas, man.
Oh, no, excuse me. I didn't mean to misspeak. I was T-H-W.
Oh, thwart.
Right.
Got it.
And it's come to mean to cut across or transverse, which trans comes from the Latin, but this caught me, and you've probably done a lot of canoeing, and old-time canoes were rather round on bottom, easy to turn over. And that strut, the Norse called the strut, or the stick that holds the gunwales apart or together, was the thwart. And so when you try to walk down a canoe, as unhandy as that is, and it's almost like walking a tightrope, if you step to the right, you're going to turn the boat over that way. And then when you come to this stick that's in your way, it becomes more troublesome. So that's the source of thwart. So when somebody turns or fails to turn on a signal, and you're going to move over into the left lane, and they move over in front of you, they have thwarted you.
That's a good one. I like that. I didn't know where that came from, John.
And several of these things. Excuse me, I missed you.
No, I said I didn't know that was the origin story of the word thwart. I've always wondered.
Right. I was surprised at that when I found it, but then the transom, when you put several thwarts across the end of the boat and cover it with boards, then that's the transom. That's the crossover that's covered.
Uh-huh.
So that's a word that we can remember when somebody politically cuts somebody off. Somebody wanted to be president, and the other person cut them off, then they thwarted their opportunity.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you, John, for the call. I've always had an unrivaled curiosity at wondering where the word thwart came from. It's been something that's kept me up many nights. I'm glad we've settled that. Thank you, John. As always, we appreciate that word of the day segment. The word of the day is fart. No, I'm kidding. Thwart. And in case you were curious, it came from canoes. So back to what I want. The concept that we wanted to talk about here is gaslighting. Okay, and so gaslighting is something that honestly one of the best segments I've ever heard of radio came from the Rick and Bubba show. They did a segment on gaslighting and what it was. And when I heard it, I was like, whoa! And I know it's probably not smart to be talking about how great other radio shows are that are on the same time you are, but still, they did a really good job explaining this. And I'm a big consumer of talk radio. I enjoy talk radio, and so gaslighting is it's a where's my other definition? Where did that go? Okay, I had it here. So basically, it is when people intentionally take away a fact, add a fact, manipulate facts to get you to the point where you question your own perception. And where it came from is a movie. The movie was so there was a a man and a woman, a romantic relationship, and the movie's called Gaslight. And essentially, he wanted a divorce from this woman, and in order to do that, he needed her to go crazy. And so he intentionally would manipulate the amount of gas going into the lanterns, and she would come to him and say, is the gas not, is there not a problem with the gas? Like, are the lights getting dimmer, or is it just me? And consistently, constantly, he manipulated the amount of gas, he manipulated the light, he manipulated what it looked like, and constantly told her, no, it's the same, until she literally went crazy because she could no longer trust her own reality, her own sense of fact. I mean, she saw the light getting dimmer and dimmer and dimmer and dimmer, and he was the one intentionally manipulating it and then telling her, no, it's not getting dimmer or brighter or dimmer, bright. It's you. It's the same. And he did that until she literally went nuts. And if you think about that in the context of the world that we're living in today, I find myself constantly having a conversation with my business partner asking, like, dude, are we crazy? Like, am I, and I think everyone that's listening right now, if you can hear my voice, I think you've probably had an experience like this because you're listening to a conservative talk radio show. You have been convinced that you are a conspiracy theory loving, crazy lunatic, right-wing extremist, bigot, black hating, wall building, Trump supporting, and there's no possible way that the Chinese could have weaponized a virus and sent it. That is impossible. That you crazy person, you're just freaking crazy. Are you? Are we? Is it possible that we're being gaslighted? That we're being manipulated? That facts are being intentionally misrepresented or withheld or added? Information is being added, misinformation? Fact checkers that aren't really checking facts are being introduced to tell you that true stories are fake? Think about that. I find myself every single day saying, am I losing my ever-loving mind? Am I really, like, I'm not a racist. I love everybody. No, you're a racist. How many times do I get called a white supremacist every week? I'll let you come up with a number in your head. Now double it. You're not crazy. You're not an extremist. You're not a conspiracy theorist. Odds are you're just like everyone else. And we're being taught, we're being convinced, we're being told, we're being lied to. And the rest is history. So let's go to a break. We'll have our last segment of the week when we come back. But yeah, that originated from a British play called Gaslight, 1938. And it was adapted to film in 40 and 44. If you haven't watched it or heard about it or read through it or whatever, you need to. You listen to Hometown Heartbeat. I'm Zach Walker. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
You go as hard as you can. And then a little harder.
And then it was like I stepped funny,
Mm-hmm.
and I could barely walk on it.
Okay, let's take a look.
At Lang Chiropractic, we'll help your sports performance and your overall health by improving your range of motion, flexibility, relieving inflammation, and so much more. Focusing to improve your health and wellness in all areas of your life. Whether you're having trouble with back pain, neck pain, or just want to start feeling better when you wake up in the morning, Dr. David Lang is focused on a whole person approach, finding those underlying causes and creating a personalized plan for your individual needs. Schedule your visit by calling 256-444-1600. That's 444-1600. At Lang Chiropractic on Highway 72 East in Athens in the Publix Shopping Center. Visit us online at langchiropracticcenter.com. Lang Chiropractic, we've got your back. Come see us today.
This is Mike 4 years ago. This is Mike having the same conversation with Debbie just last month. And today, he's at it again.
What's that, Mike?
I said our house is still underwater.
How do you know? Have you had it appraised lately?
Well, no.
Has the coronavirus made your life less financially stable? Are you worried about your next mortgage payment? Reed's Family REI is a family-based real estate investing company ready to buy your house for cash in any area or condition and close in 2 weeks. You don't have to fix it up. There's no agent fees, and we handle the closing costs. Selling a home can be very stressful, and Wyatt Reed and his team at Reed's Family REI will put together the best possible offer for your specific needs. Sell your home fast with Reed's Family REI. 931-292-2875. That's 931-292-2875. And online at reedsfamilyrei.org. Reed's Family REI. Creative real estate experts for all your buying or selling needs.
Karen's a quilter.
Karen's Quality Quilts. Quality custom quilts quickly.
How's the quilting business, Karen?
Kinda quiet. My quest to quadruple my quilting sales has created a quagmire.
Can I be candid, Karen?
Okay.
You need a website that can encompass the quality of your quilts.
I know quilts, but I know no computers. They're confusing.
But there are people who know coding like you know quilting.
Who's that?
I'm glad you asked. Web Underdog creates websites that don't just catch the eye, they catch customers. And they're as user-friendly for you as they are for your clients. We build high-quality, clean, well-coded, custom designs for organizations of all sizes that are affordable, professional, and specially made for your brand and visitors. Outside of responsive web design, Web Underdog also offers search engine optimization, website management, and so much more. Give your business the professional touch and contact Web Underdog for a free web design quote. Call 256-998-0667. That's 998-0667 and online at webunderdog.com. Web Underdog, your local web design and SEO agency.
In any home, cabinets are an instrumental part of your design. So, when you open your current cabinets, what instrument do they play? Wouldn't you rather they sounded like this? They can. It just takes one call to us.
Cabinet Express Online, North Alabama's premier cabinet supplier. Whether you want a complete custom kitchen or some of our RTA line, at Cabinet Express Online, you will get the most value out of your hard-earned money every time. Are you looking for framed or frameless? Either way, in no time at all, your dream kitchen can be a reality. And the only place you should trust to bring that dream to life is Cabinet Express Online. Schedule your free design consultation today with Cabinet Express Online. Call 256-289-7355. That's 289-7355. And online at CabinetExpressOnline.com. Design your custom kitchen today with Cabinet Express Online.
770 AM, 92.5 FM, WBNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host. Check it in, producer Connor, Tony Mack on the ones and twos at Master Control, spinning those hits. I don't know why I keep saying that, like he's a DJ. I find it fun. Maybe there's a small part of me that wants to be a top 40 DJ, maybe.
You always called Dallas the DJ. He was behind the soundboard. So
yeah,
I guess
he named that, too. Do you miss Dallas?
I do miss Dallas.
Shout out to Dallas. Pour one out for my homie. I hope he's doing great at his new job. I get tons of messages of support for young Dallas. Hope he's doing well, certainly. Hopefully. He did say he would be, he'd be willing to call in and join us occasionally. So I'll reach out. Maybe we can get him in on Monday. Maybe we can get him to do a Word of the Day segment. We've made a decision this morning. We will be moving everything over to YouTube as a platform on Monday. So on Monday morning, you will no longer be able to see the live stream on Facebook. It'll just be on YouTube and maybe Twitter. Maybe we'll throw it over to Twitter too, and try it there while we're at it and see if they hate us as much as Facebook does. Probably will. So we'll probably end up getting canceled or deplatformed or whatever. That Chinese virologist that said I was in the lab. I know China did this, and this because I was there, and they said. Sorry. Listen, my back is still having issues from dealing with that chainsaw for a weekend. Call David Lang, Dr. David Lang here at Lang Chiropractic. He is the official chiropractor of Hometown Heartbeat. He has your back. He's the best chiropractor I've ever used. He's also become a great friend of mine. Dr. Lang works on the problem, the underlying condition, not just the pain. Give them a call at 256-444-1600. Let them know the Beard sent you. They'll take great care of you. They're right here on 72 in the Public Shopping Center in Athens. So we talked about gaslighting quite a bit, and we are just wanted I just wanted to make sure that we had a chance to go through that, because stuff like this right here contributes to that. And again, if you're driving down the road listening to this show and you're like, wait a minute, I have found myself asking myself, are you crazy? I'm not crazy. Am I? Am I crazy? The reality is you're not. It is an intentional undertaking by the ruling class to convince you, by misrepresenting facts, misinformation, fake news, to convince you that you are wrong, you're crazy, that your handle on reality is not there. It's not real. It's not accurate. And the reality is you are probably more like everybody else than you can imagine. We're living in a crazy world. It's a crazy time. But articles like this don't help because I find myself saying, no way, this isn't real. Students at Skidmore College demand professor to be fired for attending a Back the Blue rally. So in our local market, we've got a professor at UNA spewing racial hatred from her official school platform, and nobody doing a thing about it. In fact, they kind of make excuses for her. That's a article that I haven't covered very deeply, but I've been reading and kind of watching, and it's something we probably should have covered at some point. And maybe we will on Monday. I know they're working. There's an individual involved. He's an alumnus and a father of a current student, and he has published some emails that he has been sending back and forth with the UNA that I think will upset a lot of people. But there's a professor at UNA acting foolish and doing so on the school's representing the school as she does it, and there's been no attempt to do anything about it. In fact, it's, hey, we don't, she is representing herself as an individual citizen. It's like, well, okay, great. Then let's be consistent. If that same professor or any professor attended a Back the Blue rally, raise your hand if you've got a problem with one of our professors at one of these fine institutions of higher education going to a Back the Blue police rally. Raise your hand. I'll wait. Okay. So no one here has a problem, because guess what? Supporting our police is not it's not a crazy thing. It's not, what's the word I'm looking for? Controversial. It's not controversial. Going to a Back the Blue rally. Ask those in Wisconsin what they think about it. They are now. In fact, I read an interview yesterday where somebody called it a war zone. Living in a war zone. It's what happens when you defund your police. And so now, just the mere act of going to a Back the Blue rally is enough for cries to ring out across the land, fire the professor. Yet, you can take the same professor down here in conservative Alabama, and they can spew racial hate and what we call hate and discontent, H&D, and just allow it to go forward. No outrage, no nothing. Well, there is outrage, but it's outrage from the wrong side. And what we've been talking about with gaslighting, virtue signaling, all of those things are, I think, my opinion, two of the greatest contributing factors to the state of our society. The fact that we can no longer have genuine, real, intellectually honest conversations about anything, because everything becomes so politicized and so crazy. It's again, if you look, I don't like Trump. Okay, I think there's a lot of things that Trump does poorly, but I also think there's a lot of things Trump does well. I think he's done a great job as our president. I think he has created the greatest economy we've seen in a long time, and it is back to that same level, churning out a high standard of living. I think he's handled the coronavirus pandemic very well. I think he's a blubbering idiot. I think he's blustering. I think he is prideful. I think he needs to stay off Twitter. I think he needs to let Melania handle that. She's a lot classier and seems to be able to get across very similar points, but says it in a way that is a little bit better than a New York cab driver, because that's about the level of his rhetoric. But you can't have those conversations anymore, because apparently if you if you have anything good to say about Trump, you're just a enraging bigot that hates black people and Hispanic people and all those things, because that's obviously, if you don't vote for Biden, you're not black. And just this state of the world where we are so divided, folks, that is intentional. We are being divided by the ruling class, those in power, both sides. You know why? Because divided, we can accomplish nothing. We can make no change. We can unite nobody. We can vote very split. We won't get anywhere. We won't make any change. We won't make any progress. Won't do anything positive in any capacity as long as we are living in a world where we hate one another so vehemently. This is your Friday morning edition of Hometown Heartbeat. Be sure to go to www.thehometownheartbeat.com, thehometownheartbeat.com. If you don't wake up at 5 o'clock, don't worry. You can download the podcast archives every single day. They'll come right to your phone. You can get 2 hours of your favorite, the smartest, the best show on morning radio, Hometown Heartbeat. Producer Connor, Tony Mack, Dale Jackson next. As always, love you guys. Appreciate you. We'll talk to you Monday morning bright and early.